Everybody. Today we are doing a webinar with our friends from PetExec, which is one of the leading POS softwares that's in the industry. And we have two friends with us, Michelle Olliger, and she is the sales lead for PetExec. And then Key Plunkett is also here joining us from Los Angeles, and he is the customer success associate. That's a lot of S's. So thank you both for being with us. We've had a long time partnership with PetExec and have done multiple live events where we've been together and different trade shows. And Michelle was on a webinar with or a Facebook Live with us a few months back. So it's always great to see what they are doing for the industry. And I love the concept that they have as far as how they connect with their clients, and that very much a customer service first organization. So that's something that really sets them apart in the industry. And with that, Michelle, I will let you take it away.
Well, fantastic. Thanks, Carrie. And thanks for everyone who is here today or joining us, and also anyone who gets to watch this as a recording later. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely love to have you reach out to us. But today, I just want to start by saying, again, we love our partnership with the Dog Gurus. We feel like everything that they do to try to help better businesses in this industry is just super on point, and we love being a part of that. And so today, I feel like we get a really nice opportunity to be able to share our system with you and some of the things that we think set us apart from others in the industry. Also, want to just give you some insight into some of the development we've been doing in the last several months and that we're planning to do in the upcoming rest of the year and will be ongoing. So thanks for the opportunity. We're really excited to get started here. So I'd just like to introduce myself again. I'm Michelle. Sorry, it's not changing the screen again. Hold on. Okay, don't know what happened there, but okay. And I'm Michelle. I am the sales lead. I've been with the company since 2019. I got to work with our original owners and then have stayed really connected with the team as we've gone through our acquisition and on into the future. We're just so excited about all of the things that we're doing. So I absolutely love being able to share the system with people, with businesses. Those of you who are using a system right now. Some of you do use PetExec, some of you use other systems, but this can be an education. And then some people who haven't got a system at all and are using maybe, Excel spreadsheets or different things. So it's a great opportunity for us to share with you. And then Key Plunkett, he is amazing. He works in customer success, helping our customers with customer support, live chat, phone support, and then also most recently I get to work with him in sales, and he's phenomenal. So you'll get a chance to see him if you come to one of the conferences. We just love having fun at those conferences and meeting people and seeing you all in person. So today I just want to sort of briefly go through, who is PetExec? How can we help you grow your business? We'd like to go over some of our new features that we've launched, as I said, and new functionality. And then also he gets to kind of take us through the remainder of 2024 and what our development looks like, our development roadmap, we call it. And then we'll certainly just highlight some of our subscription add-ons with PetExec. And then certainly I'll answer questions and can demo anything. If someone asks a question, I can easily, have an opportunity to demo the system here. So without further ado, keep going. So PetExec, for those of you who aren't aware, is a 24/7 digital business partner. So essentially, we can help you manage your business for all of your different services. That could be daycare, boarding, grooming, scheduled services, dog park memberships, enrichment, things like this. We are a cloud-based system. And when we partner with you, we can help you in many ways streamline your business and help you to reach your goals, your revenue growth goals. So we love having the opportunity to work with so many different businesses in the industry. We work with small businesses, boutique size, in-home businesses, all the way up through multiple location and franchise businesses. So our system can be customized by you, and that can help you really target the way you do business and how your processes work. Um, some of the ways that we can help you grow your business and reach your goals are being able to help you to manage owner and pet information, vaccinations. That includes reminders for vaccinations. So we have communication emails that go out when vaccinations go within 30 days so that you're not having to send the actual communication, but you have a nice professional message going out to that owner, letting them know that they need to update that vaccination record. You can store up to 3 contracts and agreements in our system and require that your pet parents sign those digitally with our owner portal or app. And then, of course, the communications, they can see their communications, and it really gives, our system gives the business many ways to be able to communicate with the pet owner. It could be SMS, emails, push notifications with our app. So giving you opportunities to be able to for instance, reminders for appointments so that somebody knows that they have an appointment and won't miss it. And that, limits no-shows and helps you as a business be more efficient. And the other thing is you're not losing that revenue when someone just doesn't show up. Marketing emails. So you have the opportunity to market to your clientele. So your owners in the system, and you can send messages that are targeted to certain groups, such as people who have packages, or maybe people who have not ordered anything from you from grooming or daycare or boarding since a certain date. And you can have a really nice professional message go out to all of the people that fall into that category. So we give you really great ways, but efficient ways as well. So it allows you to streamline and be able to really target who you're wanting to target. Additionally, we have the multi-location support. So if you do have multiple locations for your business, either just a couple of locations or a lot of locations, our system can help you support those locations. And we will be going into that in a few minutes as well. Another thing we offer, it's a new feature, and we'll go into that as well, but it's daycare add-ons. So being able to be efficient and offering your different services and allowing pet parents to add those things on when they have a daycare appointment allows you to increase your revenue. And that's your goal. You want to have great customer service. You want to make your pet parents and the pets happy, but you also your revenue is a big factor here. So this allows you to help increase that revenue. And also our system through our Stripe integration can allow you to do recurring billing events or memberships. And of course, packages. So packages for anything from daycare, boarding, grooming services, like a 5-pack of nail trims, scheduled services. So transportation services can have packages, private training appointments, private walks, different enrichment activities you can offer packages for. So we have a lot of those different ways to help you grow your business. So we're going to go through some recent updates, new features. Again, sharing some of the add-ons that we offer through PetExec and our roadmap for the rest of the year. So we'll go into that. I'm going to start with multiple location functionality. This is in the last few months, we've been launching new features, and just want to have the opportunity to kind of give an overview of what those are. These are designed for our multiple location businesses to be able to more efficiently manage. So the first feature that we launched in fall of 2023 is our toggle feature. So with multiple locations, and if you have more than one property in PetExec, you can toggle between those locations without using a separate browser or entering different login credentials. So it allows you to sign in and toggle between those grouped locations. You can group the locations and allow employee access to that, and they can toggle between those locations. That could be helpful for making appointments, managing different owners and pets between locations. Second thing is our multiple location batch reporting feature. So we launched that in the winter, and that is where those multiple locations can generate and download selected reports from a single login as well for those grouped locations. So if you want to pull that billing report for your 6 locations, you can pull that all at one time. It would be separated by those locations, but it's all pulled together in a batch. So it's very easy to sort and for you to be able to manually manage it yourself or your accountant. And so it's really, we think these couple of features are super helpful for those multiple location businesses that we have. And then I'm going to turn it over to Key so we can talk about our new feature that we launched. And all right, Key.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate the introduction. So what you're looking at here is our daycare add-ons feature. So previously we did offer boarding add-ons, which was a great way to be able to upsell and package those additional services into a boarding. And it was highly requested that we offer the same for daycare. So I'm excited to announce that we currently do have that capability. You can think of groomings or your scheduled services, and you can just have that packaged in as a quick way to increase your revenue and get more engagement for your daycare and upgrade that daycare experience for the pet parents. So you get to determine which of those products are offered as an add-on, which one of those will show up in the system, and you can easily identify which pets and pet parents have those assigned and manage them from the respective dashboards. So if you had a bath as a daycare add-on, you'd be able to go into the grooming dashboard and see that. Same thing if you had like a 30-minute walk, as you could see here, and manage that through your scheduled services dashboard. So this is a great feature that we think is going to bring a lot of value to our pet mates moving forward. And what you're seeing here is Stripe integration. So Michelle did mention a lot of great features that we do have, including membership, so the ability to have a subscription. So PetExec does offer payment processing through Stripe. And what that looks like, if you were to get integrated with Stripe, you can easily save credit card information to that of your customers. And you could also give them the ability to save their own credit cards on their profiles as well. And it's a completely secure, encrypted process. And you can set up those memberships on a recurring basis. So I could sell, let's say, a 5-day daycare pass, and every week on a schedule that refills, and the system does that for you, completely automated. We know enrichment activities are really big right now in terms of being able to have scent work or social time, those activities that really provide an enhanced daycare experience. So these are other ways that you could just drive that engagement by getting that Stripe integration and letting your pet parents be able to manage things on their own end. So if they have an account balance, if they want to make a boarding deposit, if they want to purchase a package, all of these things you'll be able to do through that Stripe integration. And another highly requested feature that we did launch is that surcharge. So now you're able to pass on those credit card processing fees through those transactions. So that percent that you're getting charged, there's a simple setting in the system where you could choose to pass those on, and the math is calculated automatically for you. And it will also recognize whether it's a credit card payment, because those won't apply to a debit or prepaid card. And of course, you do want to check and make sure it's permissible in your state.
Okay.
And what we have here is our PetExec mobile app, which is another add-on feature. We do have a great partnership with iDogCam that does develop the cameras and the software. And right from the mobile app or the portal, you could give your customers the ability to view their pets. So while they're at home, they can have a camera in the kennel, or maybe you have one in the play area, and they could keep an eye, give them a peace of mind. Some businesses like to do an upcharge for offering that feature. So you do have the flexibility there, which is really nice. A lot of the things that you're able to do from the portal is also available in the mobile app. So you can update your pet information, your own information. You can upload documents for proof of vaccination. And we also allow you to store contracts and agreements in the system, and you'll get that secure electronic signature. And you can force your customers to have to capture that signature right from the portal. And of course, the ability to request or schedule appointments. As Michelle had mentioned, all of this is customizable, which is awesome. So we have an onboarding process process, and we work with you to make sure you have the best fit for your facility. So all these services that they're able to see on the portal is determined by what you have set up in your system. So you can choose to give them any of these options or choose to give them none of those options. It's completely flexible, which is awesome.
Yes. Okay.
And our next add-on is actually our unlimited texting. This is a really great two-way texting feature where through our messaging partner, we can assign a phone number to your facility. You can get those text message responses and be able to manage those notifications right from PetExec. It's really user-friendly, simple to use. You'll see a little cell phone icon next to that customer's name, and you could click on that, attach an image. Maybe your customer just had their pet finish a grooming. You wanted them to send them a picture of how the pet looked after the groom, tell them they're ready to pick their pet up. Those are some nice ways that you can use that texting feature. It also does come with automated SMS reminders, so they can get text message reminders for upcoming appointments and scheduled services, boarding and grooming. And there are a lot of different ways you can use that. And you even have access to the logs. So if they were to view those messages in PetExec, we can show you that, we can confirm that they did view it, and you'll be able to see the history of that for some time as well. And then we also have our email blast. So Michelle did mention being able to communicate different things to your user base, being able to segment that based on who's ordered or who has an appointment on a certain day. You can see right here, I have an example of a blast for a Thanksgiving dinner. So if you have any special offers, maybe there's an emergency sickness running around and you want to notify everyone, these are really easy to set up. We have these little replacement values that you can copy and paste, so you don't have to really be tech savvy to build out our communication templates, which is really great. You could create special contact lists, so you might have an owner advisory for all of your owners who are members or maybe who are military, and you can kind of create a list and just communicate to those clients in an email blast. You can also link your PDF documents and have your social media handles show at the bottom of those emails as well. So it's a great, easy way to stay communicated, and you could also use that for marketing purposes.
Great.
And finally, we're just going to show some of these new features that we are excited about. Just a high-level overview of some things that we have on deck for the rest of the year. We are excited. Our engineering and development team has been working really hard and listening to what our pack mates have been requesting the most. So we did introduce the multi-locations that Michelle had mentioned, and we are working to build on that. And the next step of that would be offering features that allow the sharing of owner and pet data across locations. I had mentioned some of those automated reminders, but daycare will be one that will be added to that list this year. So getting appointment reminders through email and SMS for your upcoming daycares. And daycare boarding kennels was another highly requested feature. So right now we allow you to reserve space and do error checking for your boarding kennels, but we know a lot of facilities like to use that in daycare as well and have those specific spaces blocked off. So this is something that we're working to develop, and our PetExec mobile app is seeing some improvements in the functionality and the capability to work with different phones and different systems, which is great.
Great. Thanks, Key.
Thank
This
you.
is something I'm very excited about as well. So we're all very happy on the PetExec team to be able to share this roadmap. So thanks for doing that. So I'm going to just jump back in and talk about something that we have that it's rather new on our website, but we have a resource library, and we have just tons of articles, very rich articles, from everything to from marketing to operations to technology, for your business. And so these are three examples of articles that we have, and you can easily go visit our resource library by just going to our website and clicking on resources. And I have the link down there. You can certainly just go petexec.net, pretty easy. But we really feel like being a partner to our packmates, we call them, our customers, is really important. And it doesn't just extend to the system. We want to be a partner that helps them as they either are starting a business, as they're learning more about their own business, learning about new things that they want to try, such as, the daycare enrichment that is very popular right now. Well, we have resource articles that they can go and look at that will give them helpful information. So we want to be relevant to our packmates by providing really timely information and articles and blogs for them. So I encourage y'all to take a look at that. It's a great place to get some really great information. I just want to pause for a moment, and if anyone has any questions, Key and I are happy to jump in and answer those. I haven't taken a look to see how many we have now on here. Okay, so. Any questions?
Actually, I have a question for you.
Sure.
When you're looking at those batch reports, can you download those as a PDF or a CSV file?
So yeah, and Key, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when you do, you can choose the date range for those batch reports, and you choose those group locations. And what it does is it provides you with that batch report that will list each of those files out, and then you can download those to Excel and be able to open those up individually by location. So it's not going to commingle the data between the locations. You would have to do that. Does that answer your question, Carrie?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Key, did you have anything else to add on that?
No, yeah, you can get them packaged in a zip file, and then as Michelle mentioned, you'll be able to look at those individually. So it's just going to download them all together.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Key. Any other questions?
When you assign daycare now, where do they go? If they're not being assigned to an individual enclosure, do you have like groups? Is that how they're assigned?
Yeah, we actually have the Play Area Manager feature. And this is a feature where your daycare and boarding dogs can be managed, essentially creating play areas by either physical location or maybe size of dog or behavior of dog. And then you can easily group those pets into different areas. So that's what a lot of people use for that. That's a great question, Carrie. Or they can select a kennel room to put that daycare pet in from the dashboard. It's just as Key mentioned, it's not error checking it on occupancy. So that room could still be available to use for a boarding room currently. Okay. And yeah, well, that's definitely, I think the next highest thing that people wanted besides the daycare add-ons was the daycare rooms. So we're excited that that's the next step on the roadmap.
Great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
is this an all or nothing, or are there some things that you can choose to have and some things that you might not necessarily need as much?
Sure. Do you mean like you might use daycare, but you might not do grooming kind of thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe something like that, or maybe I already have an SMS system or something. I don't know.
Yes, that's a great question. So with our system, all of the modules are included, all of the service modules are included, but you can hide them on the dashboard if you're not using something like that. And then when it comes to the app or the unlimited texting, which are two options that you can add on, you certainly have the option not to do so. So for your use case, when you're talking about maybe not needing the SMS, you certainly don't have to purchase that option.
When you purchase that, is it a monthly recurring fee?
Yes. So the PetExec mobile app and the unlimited texting feature are additional monthly fees. The app is $29.99 a month, and that is for the business. And an unlimited amount of pet parents can download the app for free. And then the unlimited texting feature is $19.99 a month. And that, again, allows that unlimited texting, image texting, and text reminders.
Great.
Like the reminders part.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very popular.
Yeah.
And it is, the nice thing about the texting feature is, just to tag on to that, is that it is, you receive a number within the PetExec system that all of your texts go out from. So they, the in and out, it all goes right through the PetExec system. So even though we're a cloud-based system and an employee might be on their cell phone signed into the PetExec system and making notes on a pet or moving them to a different play area, if they decided to text the pet owner from the PetExec system, it's not coming from their personal cell phone number. So it's coming from the number that is assigned to them in the PetExec system. So I think that's really a nice piece of that as well.
Agree. And oh, I had it.
It'll come back.
Yes, give me a
Happens
second.
to me all the time. Something about texting, maybe.
Oh, yes, it was the contacts. Are you able to have a contact list in there with names or something like that? Because the system that I use currently, I don't think I can use contacts. I just have to go and find their number from the system every time and then.
Oh, yeah. So in our system, you can search for an owner very easily. And when you pull up the owner, that textable phone number is right there. So you can look that way by just calling up the owner or the pet and gathering that, that textable number. Or we do have an owner and pet report. So if you wanted to, get emails for all of your owners, you can pull that owner and pet report. I do want to make sure you understand that with the texting feature, it doesn't include mass texting. But you absolutely can easily pull up an owner and send them a message very simply with a click from the dashboard. Yeah. Great. Any additional questions? I can keep going. All right, wonderful. But don't hesitate to jump in. We're happy to help. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of other features that I think are super important and set us apart in this industry. And support is sort of the umbrella of this. PetExec, and I appreciate Carrie mentioned at the beginning that she noticed and has heard that PetExec has excellent customer support, and that's something we really believe in living up to. And so we have it in a couple of different ways. We offer. First of all, if you purchase PetExec, we offer an onboarding. And that onboarding is very special because it's a very efficient and effective way for you to get started using our system right away. So from when you click purchase to when you provide us your services and your pricing, our coach actually will reach out to you, have a question and answer period. Then they will set up your system for you, do a full training with your team that can be recorded to allow you to understand how to navigate the system based on your specific setup. So it's not like you're a generic training appointment. It's where they're really showing you based on your setup so that you and your employees understand how to navigate the system on a daily basis. And what's different than this is it's not a long and drawn out process. Once you provide us with the information that we need, we can have that done usually in under 10 business days. So I believe that that's very efficient and effective. People can get started right away. And then once, you're starting to use the system, I can talk about that in a moment. But I do want to highlight that right now we are offering free onboarding, which is a $200 value. Again, it's very value packed with the coach setting up the system for you. So if you have packages and memberships and things like this, this is something that might be tricky for you to set up. Everyone has varying levels of tech savviness, and our coaching allows that to be done efficiently and effectively and correctly. And so not only are we offering the onboarding for free right now, but we do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So within that first 30 days, if you're not happy, we would certainly try to do everything that we could to work through that with you. But if it wasn't a good fit for you and you decided that, we would give you back that subscription fee. So we do stand by our support, our setup, and our onboarding, but we also really want to support you and for you to be happy. And then after the system is being used, you start going out there and signing in and signing out pets and things like this. You're probably from time to time going to have questions like, I messed up a refund. I don't remember how to fix that. I'm looking for this report and I can't seem to find it. I know it's here, but I can't find it. Or maybe I signed a pet out of boarding by accident Can you help me sign them back in? Those are just a few use cases that you might come into our ongoing support. And that's where Key is great. He gets to work with people every day. And so he not only understands what people want in a system, but he also can very effectively help them understand how the system works, how to do something correctly in the system, how to find logging if someone has done something incorrectly, how they would find the logging of that employee's performance in the system, and how they could coach them, on their own to fix that. So it's really great. The ongoing support is in 3 different ways. One of them is live chat. A packmate can go onto the dashboard and easily click on the live chat bubble and come in and ask our live team, our US-based team, a question. They can also contact us by phone and actually get a real life human. I will say that if we're on the phone, you will have to leave a message. We will return your call right away. Our team is very good about, follow through and support. And then email. So you can also email us. And that's where maybe in the evening, you might have a chance to email us a question that you've been wanting to ask. And first thing the next morning, our customer support team would answer that email for you. Our support is Monday through Friday, 9 to 7 Eastern time. So we have a really big window and we have people all over the world and are able to support them via these 3 different ways. Any questions about support?
And I do want to just add on one thing you did mention, Michelle, because you did speak about the employee element. PetExec also offers you the ability to have your employees have their schedule in the system. They can sign in and sign out. And we also have a time card payroll report where you'll be able to see the hours they've worked over a time range. And how that works is you can have different employee types, so their permission depends on the type that was assigned to them. So you can have an administrator that logs in and has access to all these different reports, but you might have a kennel attendant that can only access daycare and a couple other items. So that's another value added from using PetExec as well.
Thank you, Key. That's great. I'm glad you added that. Another offering that we have is I think really great. It's coaching. And it is paid coaching. It's one-on-one coaching. And what happens is there might be some different use cases that you would need coaching. One of them would be, let's say you've been using PetExec for many years and you want to just double check that that you're utilizing all of our newer features or anything that you think would help streamline your business. This happens all the time. Someone's been using us for a long time, and we do let people know regularly when a new launch comes out of a new feature. But we all know we're very busy people, and you with your businesses are just completely busy all the time. And sometimes those things can be missed. So this is a great way for you to be able to make sure you're aware of the features, able to utilize efficiently new features with the coach helping you do that. You can purchase the coaching with 1 hour coaching, 1 hour of coaching, or you can buy a block of 4 hours. So it's really nice. The 1 hour is $150. And if you want to buy the 4 hour block, it's $300. So it's a really good deal. And that doesn't just, go away. It can stay on your account if you don't use it all. Another use case for having coaching would be customizing and setting up the owner-facing portal or the app experience. We do have a knowledge base and documentation library for you to be able to do things on your own, like changing prices and setting up and customizing the portal. But for someone who might not feel comfortable doing that themselves, they absolutely have the option to pay for coaching to do so. And also, if you are, let's say you're doing boarding, and then down the road, a couple years, you want to add daycare or grooming or scheduled services, you might want to have a coach help set up all of that for you. So you're really aware of all of the important things that you need to do to set that up properly. So I think it can be very useful for people. It's not required. It's just an option we have, but we do think it's very valuable for people who are needing that. Or sometimes people sell a business and a new manager comes in, and that manager would like to get up to speed on everything, and they can purchase an hour of coaching and have a one-on-one session with a coach that can really just so efficiently get them up to speed. And everything would be completely customized. The coach would reach out and understand what you're wanting to do first and what your goals are with the training or the coaching session. And then they would set up a plan. So it's your time is used really wisely and carefully. So to reach your goals. Anything you want to add on that, Key? Did I get everything?
Yes, that was pretty much covered a lot of those use cases. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so this kind of ends the more formal part of the presentation. If we have some more questions, I definitely can pop into the system here. I can share a couple more things with you. Do we have any more questions? I just want to sort of, ask that first. And
yeah, hi.
Hi.
I am very small and 12 dogs, 16 max.
Yep.
Is PetExec something that would be helpful to me in this time? Because I'm just opening up. So, I don't need the great big system, just something to make it easier.
Right. I believe it can. We have a lot of smaller facilities, and certainly we would leave that up to you to decide. We can do a personalized demo with you to walk you through the system. It's free to show you around and show you the features visually, because I know some people are more visual and they like to see things in action. You can also use our self-guided demo and do that yourself. And so that would be totally fine if you wanted to do that. And when you have that personalized demo, we can show you how you can manage things. I mean, I would say yes. It's up to you, of course, and your business goals and what you feel is going to work for you. But we have a lot of small facilities, and even, like I said, in-home facilities where they have maybe 10, 15 pets, and they utilize PetExec. Obviously, the positives of that are the information collection and being able to keep everything, in one system, owners and pets, vaccinations, things like that. Did I answer your question, Chris?
Yeah. To follow
Okay.
up on that, to
Yes.
that, do you have tiers of services, or is it one you just pick out of what is it, a la carte? Maybe that's what I'm.
PetExec is not a la carte in terms of the service modules. Everything is included. I'll tell you. So for the subscription fee of $105, that includes all of the modules. That would be for daycare, boarding, grooming. We don't separate that out. We don't nickel and dime you. So that way, even down the road, if you add something you're not currently using, you've got that, and we're still going to be your tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the service modules, that includes one-way texting, which is not imaging or text reminders or anything. It's just being able to text them one way, and the owner-facing portal. Those are all included in that 105.
Okay.
Then if you decided to get, as I said, the app or the unlimited texting, those are the additional fees. Now, I will say, if someone is coming over from another system and wants to do a data transfer, we do charge for that. That would be a separate fee. But if you're a new facility or haven't used a system before, that's not going to be something you have to pay for. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, hope that answered your question.
It did. Thanks.
Great, great.
So
Okay,
do I understand that your base monthly fee for PetExec is $105 a month?
yes, and I can, let me just real quick here, I can share my screen again. Let me just really quick pull this up for you. And that way I can kind of show you. Because
And
I
do you
think
guys
sometimes
have reporting features?
yes, oh yes, we have. So let me, I'm just going to pop right in here and share my screen again. So now I can share the system with you, and I can also share our website. So I do want to point out a couple other features, and Key, I'm going to have you jump in and talk about reports in a second, but I do want to mention a couple of other things that we have. We have a little module here on the dashboard where you can actually set up a temperament test or a meet and greet for pets. So it's like a calendar placeholder for you to be able to do that. Can you see my screen? Okay, everybody, the dashboard here. Temperament test. Okay, perfect. So you can easily schedule a new pet for a temperament test. You can also not allow pet parents to book an appointment if you haven't checked the checkbox off that they have had and passed that test. So it gives you control to not allow people to book if that's a pet you wouldn't want in your care, or they didn't pass that test. So that's a really nice feature. It gives you a lot of control. I do want to show you visually really quickly, and jump in if you have a question. Don't hesitate to unmute and jump in. This is the play area manager, and this is where you can set up different play areas and manage those daycare and boarding pets. And so this is a great feature because it's like a digital whiteboard. It allows you to move pets around. You can note in a pet record where you'd like that pet to be. So they could be multiple players that you would be okay with that pet going into, and they can be listed under the pet there. If I go into a specific area like the easy living room here, I can see the pets that are currently in there, and we can see that's where they should be. So it's not going to stop you from moving pets around. It just gives you and your employees the ability to visualize where those pets are and where they should be. And we all know that you may have to move pets during the day, depending on different temperaments of different groupings of pets. And I'm sure it's very fluctuating experience for you. And then I'm going to let you talk about the time clock module. I'm going to show a couple features here. I know you mentioned the calendar and the reporting, so I just want to briefly just show those. But do you want to speak to that, and then I'll pull up the reports?
Sure.
Great. Okay, I'm going to click on that right now.
Yeah, so this is the time clock log here, and how it works is you would add an employee to the schedule for that day. Once they're on the schedule for that day, then they'll have the ability to clock in. I know I mentioned those employee types determine what they're able to do in the system. So you could give someone the ability to view their schedule and clock in, but they don't have the ability to modify their schedule. So just as how we have the boarding calendar, the daycare calendar, grooming, etc., there's also an employee calendar where you can see those different shifts. And as we have in the system, we assign different highlight colors to each employee's profile. And that works in different ways in the system. So if you were to view the grooming calendar, you could see that each employee has their own color to make it an easier visual to see what has been assigned where. So in addition to that, you can also assign a commission rate to an employee's profile for grooming or scheduled services, and the system's automatically going to determine what they should have been owed on that order. And you can then pull a commission report and determine how you'd want to pay that out if that's something that you did at your facility.
Yeah, and you can do it also for group training. So all of your trainers and your groomers. And I'll just highlight that calendar for you, Key, because you mentioned it. It's a great feature for that 2-day view for your list of your groomers. And you can see the hours that they're working because that's what's in the time clock module. So it coordinates with this particular calendar. And it's very easy for them to manage appointments. Thank you for that. And really quick, before you go into reports, do you want to just highlight the bell icon here and talk about requests and things like that? Because that's something that I think is super important and coordinates with what we talked about with the app or the portal.
Yeah.
So I'll just click on that.
If you were to click on this, this is going to show your notification. So even if you were to get a new SMS text message, that will come up here as well. What you're seeing here are open requests from pet parents for group training, daycare, grooming, and scheduled services. And the system allows you to determine if you want to be set to request or schedule. And what that means is if I'm set to schedule, if I have availability for those dates, the appointment gets confirmed and the system allocates that space. But if it's a request, then you as the admin have final say over those appointment details, and then you can go ahead and confirm it. What's really nice is we have different email communications that make it clear which is which. So if I were to request a grooming, I would have a grooming request email. If it were to be confirmed, then you would have a confirmation email. So the language in your templates are going to be different, and it's going to make it easier for your clients to see what's going on. If you have a smaller facility, like how Chris had mentioned with less pets, then it might be easier to have it as requested because you could yourself manage all of those and it won't be too overwhelming.
Yeah. Any questions about that? All right. Thanks, Key. I appreciate that. And then I'll pop into the menu here and you just tell me where to drive.
You can just pull down the reports. I know we had a question about that. So one area that PetExec does have a lot of great feedback is our reports. So we do have some really extensive accounting reports. The most comprehensive one would be our billing report. We also have a daily statistics report that's really popular. So if you just want to run it at the end of each day, see any unbalanced orders you have or how much you have processed for that day, you can do that. We also have some reports for the owner specifically that maybe will show you which client has the most charges on their account or which client has the most visits over the time frame, which is really nice. The stats report by service type allows you to see the charges you have based on each of these different services, such as grooming, daycare, boarding. We also have a QuickBooks export where you can pull some of that information from PetExec directly into QuickBooks Online and manage it from there. And we also have like a debits and credits report, accounts receivable, which is really nice. So you could see every customer that currently owes you money, and you're able to pull a combined invoice directly from that report and send an email off to them, which will show them exactly what they owe based on those orders. And even if you were to pull up any pet owner's name, if they had a debt on their account, it would show a red dollar sign. If they had a credit, it would show a green dollar sign. So there are a lot of different ways that PetExec communicates that information to you.
Is there a way to see like lifetime customer spend?
In
Yeah,
that,
I think here, Key, it's the purchase statistics?
it would be purchase statistics, but you would have to select the date range still, but that's going to show you all of the charges that have been made against that account. You can also pull up an individual purchase history if you just wanted to check that for one customer as opposed to needing to compare it for all the customers.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Great question. And then also you can see those commission reports that Key was referring to for your trainers or your groomers. You can pull a tip report. Some people get tips not only for their groomings, but they get them for maybe even boarding sometimes too. So this tip report can separate the tips out. That time card payroll report for you to give to your payroll person. And then also an important piece of PetExec is that you can have retail items in the system. And so you add your retail items like, collars, leashes, treats. If you're a trainer, you might have training collars and training accoutrements. But regardless of what type of retail items you have, you can keep the on-hand report and keep track of your vendors. It's very easy to add a retail item onto an order during the time they're here in your facility, or just at checkout. If they're checking out and they want to add that item on, you can easily add that to the order right before checkout.
Yep.
So
And I
that's a
think
nice.
you mentioned the employee activity report as well. So there's a log history whenever different actions are taken in PetExec, which is nice. So if someone deleted an appointment or they changed the dates, that was shown the log history. And there's also an employee activity report where you can see actions that were taken for a specific part of the system, and an owner activity report as well if you wanted to see who was scheduling their own services from the portal or making payments or deleting things. You can view the owner activity report for that.
Yep, that's great. And most every page in the system has logging. So you'd be able to see what those employees are doing, which is great.
I have another question. So if
Yeah.
somebody, your policy is that if they don't give you 24 hours notice, that you will charge for a daycare visit. Or, if it's peak season for lodging and you have like a 48-hour or 1 week cancellation policy, will it automatically charge someone if they don't show for daycare, or is that something that you have to do manually?
Do you want to cover that, Key, or do you want me to?
I could cover that. So if this were to be a boarding appointment, you could set that up in the system to where it would automatically charge that fee. So you could have a boarding cancellation fee product. However, if it was a daycare, there wouldn't be an automatic trigger for a cancellation. So you could make it so that they're not able to delete a daycare from the portal, and then they would have to reach out to you directly. But in the event that the cancellation happened for a daycare, you would need to manually add that charge. And it's really easy. You could search for that client, type owner purchase, and then you would have that product in your system, daycare cancellation, and you could add it to their cart.
And then if they have a package, is there a way to just go and manually deduct a day off of their package?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, Michelle, if you
Yes.
could search for a pet parent, so you'll see that each pet owner has an owner menu, and when you search for them, you can pull up all of that information. I know someone mentioned the contacts having their number, so you could see as soon as Michelle pulled up that menu, there's that cell phone icon, and their number's already attached to that. There's that owner purchase option that I had mentioned from there as well. So anything related to that customer, you would be able to easily pull up right from this menu here.
And
That
maintain packages. Yeah,
Okay.
right there.
option. So you can manually make a package inactive, active, add uses, take uses out. So even if you forget to apply a package 2 months ago, you could find a way to work around that and make that happen.
Yes, and so while we're here, oh, did you have a question? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, then since this is showing an example of an owner who has 4 dogs, if a dog passes away, is there a way to deactivate it so you don't still see that dog on their account?
Yes, absolutely. You can mark that pet deactivated, and then they wouldn't receive things like those birthday emails and automated things like that. Correct.
Okay.
Yes, that's a great question. That's really important. And that, it's not going to send them anything if they're deactivated. So, on that pet. And additionally, this is where you can see if they've signed those contracts and agreements. You could even, this is really big for trainers. We have a lot of trainers who do offsite training, and they can easily map it to the location of the person they're going to train at their home. And again, owner custom pricing can be set for different products for different owners. So if for this particular owner, Michelle Wags, we wanted to set custom pricing on boarding, anytime those pets are going to be requesting or booking an appointment for that service, it will give them that specific custom price. So you can do that. And you can also do it a different way. Like if you have a 10% discount for veterans or police officers, first responders, you can easily set that discount as well. And then just to go a little further, unless anyone has a question, I just wanted to show you while we're here, when you pull up an owner and a pet, it's very easy to get into the pet record too. And this is where an employee could upload a picture of a new pet who's never been in your care before. Maybe it's their first visit. This is where we can add pet notes to add more specific information that is needed for employees to understand about a pet, modifying information. You can even do report cards. So you can do a report card per pet per day to let the pet parent know with a nice professional communication email how their pet did that day. Whether they're in boarding or daycare, we can send that report card right from the system. So everything is really at a click. Whenever you pull up that owner and pet, it's easy to click and get into really the information that you as employees of the business are really wanting. That includes advisories. He mentioned that you can do marketing e-blasts based on an advisory that's set on a pet. And this is one of those advisories. These are several, actually. You can create your own color, icon, and naming convention. And this makes it really easy for you to understand your pets. And keep in mind, this is for you and your employees' eyes only, right, Key? Those owners aren't going to see this information. You can also keep track of incidents in the facility, and those are easy to see at a glance as well. So injury, ER visit, that type of thing. And then sometimes we do need to keep track of behavior of owners. And so you can easily do that with owner advisories too. So we joke, it's tongue in cheek, but I'm sure you have something that you can call to mind where you would maybe need to note something about one of your owners to make it easy for your employees.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Where you love the dog, but the owner is a little eccentric, and vice versa. You love the owners, but the dog is kind of a handful. So yeah.
Yes.
I love the diva.
Yeah.
Yes, right? It's great.
That's awesome.
It's helpful. And then this is what Key was mentioning, where you can see if an owner owes you money very easily right on the dashboard. It's either green or red. Red is obviously the debit. So, again, our goal here is for you to have really great ways to communicate with your pet owners, but also for you and your employees to be able to communicate with one another, or just to be able to see very important information about these pets.
Great. Thank you for showing us the insides of the system. This is great. One question about the report cards. Can they be sent via text? Or
no, they're not sent via text. They are sent via email. I'll show you one here. I'll just pull up a past report card for my dog Ranger. This is my rescue dog here. He's my guy. Now these are customizable. Just to caveat, you can do background colors, change wording, all of these different things. You create the entries and then your employee would fill that out. They can include images and video links. They are emailed, but if you do have the PetExec mobile app, you will be able to see that in the app as well.
Great.
So and it's available for the owner in the portal or the app to be able to see their communications. They're stored for 120 days. Yep. Great question. Well, any last questions, we'll be happy to answer. Well, Key and I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with us. Gosh, it just went by so fast. I don't know if you feel that way, Key, but I do. And I really had such a good time having you here today to do this with me, Key. And Carrie, thank you, and to the gurus. This was a really great opportunity. And as always, we are available. You can contact us via our website at petexec.net if you need to reach out. We have contact phone numbers. You can easily get one of us on the phone. We can help you with any questions you might have. So we're always open to being a resource to you.
We appreciate your support. Thank you for having us.
Yes, well, to both of you, thank you for joining us. It's always fun to be able to see more of the insights and understand how especially your customer support works, and just the fact that you really are listening to your pack mates, as you call them, and that you are constantly developing new features based on what that feedback is that you receive from your clients. So I love that. It's just, you guys are one of my favorites. So
Thanks, Carrie.
so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.